Hey folks, I'm attorney Roger P. Foley, and today I was in court, and I ultimately filed a motion to vacate a bond. Sorry, I filed a motion to vacate a capias and bond a streecher. And basically, client didn't make it to court, and the judge issued a warrant. So, that wasn't the big deal. The judge was nice. I'm in a foreign land, far, far away. The judge was professional. He said, "Why should I do that?" Well, because he's hired me. I mean, that was basically my excuse. I said, "I'll get him to court." But the interesting part came when we got pre-trial release. Like if you're in Palm Beach, it's referred to as SOR. Different places, it's called different things, but it's basically a form of bond where you have to check in weekly. And the only thing you have to do in this pre-trial release is for my client has to call once a week, every week, and it's an automated system. And he goes up, I'm good, blah, blah, blah. Like no address change, no phone number change. Everything's the same. No contact with law enforcement. Great. But when we get there, my client had some problems before he hired me. And I don't like problems. I try to anticipate problems. So I said to him, I go, you know what? I'm not in this county very often. Let me go to pre-trial release with you. So we drive over and we walk in, and there's a security guy. And this security guy is an older, mean man. You could tell that he is used to people bowing. I don't know if he's ex-law enforcement. I'll be honest with you. He's wearing a uniform. It was security, but I don't think he was a police officer. But he looks at me, and I'm dressed up. Obviously, I'm not casual like I am right now. He goes, "You need to wait outside." And I'm kind of thinking like, what am I, a dog? Like, my dog waits for me when I come home, but buddy, what? Like, now I didn't say that, but I said, I'm sorry, what? And he says, it's for him, not you. I said, I just told you I'm his attorney. Yeah, I don't give a damn. That's not going to go too well with me. Because as far as I'm concerned, as an attorney, I'm allowed to go to probation with a client. I'm allowed to go to pretrial services with a client. And this guy not only mean mugged me, was like up in my face, like, leave. And I was a little taken aback because I'm going, this isn't very friendly. He's not being very friendly. And then I'm also thinking the other side of my brain's like, what is this, like 75-year-old man gonna like jump me? Come on, Creed.
Get out my face. Don't need nothing you got no more. Don't need no hair's been messing up my corner. And you better get that bad look off your face before I knock it off. Come on. Wanna jump? Jump! Come on! Come on, Creed! And
he turns around, he gets like right up in my face. He's like, I said leave. I was about to say, you need to get a manager or someone else. And he turns around to the lady who's behind the counter, where there's a glass window, and says, and she goes, it's okay. And then he goes, put your arms up, and then pats me down. Like, Grant, I get it. I get it, like the wand and stuff. But this guy's almost like, get up, like I'm in a suit, whatever. Like I'm the guy's attorney on a pre-trial on a baby case, right? He's like, yeah, let me flip your belt. Okay, yeah. So I did. He goes, sit there. I'm like, all right. So like, I purposely, he pointed to a chair, so I sat at a different one, like the little mind stuff, right? So I'm sitting there, and my client has to sign in. He goes through the same thing with my clients, like using the wand to make sure, checking the belt, like lift your like what are we doing? Anyway, and I get it. We live in a different world these days, but it was the arrogance. It was Barney Fife, like a simple man, a dumb man, but on steroids. And I couldn't imagine what it would be like for my client, what it would be like for other people dealing with this type of person when you don't stand up, right? And listen, everyone, everyone doesn't always have a voice, right? That's part of being an attorney, is being a voice for people. And I was so glad that I went. So anyway, a woman comes out, it's a pretrial officer, and she goes, come with me, is talking to my client. And I say, is it okay if I come back? And she goes, yeah, come on. So we go in and she gets me a chair, very professional woman, very nice woman, goes through pretrial with my client, address, phone number, backup, even added me as a backup, and explained the process. And I just said to her, I said, thank you for the professional courtesy. And as we walked out, I'll share, there's the little dark side of me. I was like, you have a good day, sir. He's like, you too. And then as I walked out, I told my client, I go, that was a politically correct F off. And, I hope you stub your toe on the side of the bed, kind of. Mother! And my client said to me, he goes, man, I've been running into these type of people a lot. And then I can only imagine, I felt like I went back in time in this small town, and this guy was like, mean mugging me, trying to bully me, and the guy's just a douche all the way around. And I just wondered, how would he be treated if I wasn't there? The guy was treating me like I was, so insignificant, like I wasn't a human being. And that feeling, and treated another human being like my breath didn't matter. Like my space in front of him was insignificant. Like he would walk through me. So, obviously the guy that I am, I usually equate that sort of attitude with dominance, destruction. Like I boxed, I played football, right? Like if you're just a bad mother effer in the ring and you've knocked out your last 17 opponents, like a Mike Tyson in 1986, I can understand a little arrogance. This man's like in his 70s, and he guys, I'm not kidding you. Like not only did he mean mug me, he mean talked me, and I just looked at him kind of like, what? Like, and I didn't raise my voice. I just said, sir, I just told you I'm his attorney. He's like, you can wait outside. Like he was dismissing me like I was just, I don't know, like I would dismiss a gnat, like flying in the air. It bothered me. And, the client said as we walked out, he goes, I just been coming into contact with these kinds of people lately. He goes, man, I appreciate you being there with me. And, I was happy to go. And, it's weird. Who knows where that could have turned into? And I got to tell you, like a shout out to the Long Island audit guy, right? Because the client says to me, he goes, dude, that reminded me of like one of those audit things where like, next thing you know, there's a crowd around you of cops. And he's like, and I said, yeah. And I literally laughed. I was like, I need to call the Long Island guy, because I'm sitting there, and as you walk in, it's this little room. it's like the size of the cab of my pickup truck. And I'm looking at the signs, and it says, supervised people only, employees, obviously the only public spaces when you first walk in. But that guy, that security, police, whatever he was, I just dismissed him because I was like, well, we'll just go. But in my mind afterwards, right, in retrospect, I go, what if the lady didn't say, like, would they have dialed 911? Would have I been surrounded by the sheriff's office? I'm going, I'm an attorney with my client going to something that the court has just ordered. I can't imagine in a million years that I wouldn't be allowed to be there. But that's not the point, man. It's no matter how big you are, no matter how much power you have, no matter how much money you have, your etiquette, your respect for your fellow human being is what counts, right? How do you treat your neighbor? How do you treat the poor? How do you treat the uneducated? How do you treat the guy above you, financially, academically, career, whatever, the person at your level, it should be the same, right? Shouldn't we be the same? I mean, granted, I'm not a security officer or a police officer, but I should be treated with respect. My client should be treated with respect. And again, that's why I didn't raise up on the guy or even raise my volume. I just said, sir, as I just said, I'm his attorney. He's like, you can wait outside. And I was like, well, that ain't gonna happen. And respectfully, your 77-year-old ass isn't gonna move me. But and I didn't say that, the thought process, I'm transparent. And I'm going, he turned like, I'm thinking, is he going to turn and call for backup? And am I going to be, it's hard for me to relate to that. If I'm moody, if I'm annoyed, if I'm tired, if I'm hot, if I'm lost, right? All the things like, when you have that bad day. I see somebody, I say hello, good morning, good afternoon. I mean, the elevator's up and down the court. Hey, hi, ladies, good morning. Hey, sir, good morning. How are you today? Like, I can't imagine treating someone the way that security guard treated me and my clients. So anyway, it's a long, drawn out video about nothing, but it is something. It's something that's important to me. Treat other people with respect. You might have days and someone may come a certain way, and I get that, but this was nothing like that. This was, you're not supposed to be here. You're not significant. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're in a shirt and a tie. I don't care if you're an attorney. We were peasants and or sheep, and we were being herded into a corral, except my corral, my barn was outside and my client's was inside, and he was going to herd me outside. And buddy, I might be as big as a cow. I'm a chub right now, but no one's hurting me. It's just it's sad to know that there are people like that in positions of power. I don't know. Tell me your story. I'm just a guy who's sharing a story. I'm long-winded. I'm not editing. I'm sitting there. Just had some nice barbecue. And you guys have a wonderful day. See ya.